Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here's Patrick.
Okay, here.
Okay, so just to inform you guys, I'm going to bring Patrick back because I think we're going to clear the air about the situation with Patrick and Milos and coaching or not coaching or whatever. So I want to give Patrick a chance to say what he think he needed to say. Okay, and then Patrick, and then Milos, you can respond, and we'll see what
I knew
Patrick.
this was gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, I got to give everybody a chance if they want it, if they want to, and he wanted a chance, and so Patrick, I'm going to give you the floor.
Yes, sir. So basically, I think, well, first of all, I need to apologize to you, Dennis, especially, and also to Milos to some degree, because of the way I responded. Me making it sound like I didn't even know Milos at the time was wrong. You mistaking the person, that use of words was not correct. I knew Milos at the time. I was in contact with Milos. We had met probably a year before through our friend Mauro, who introduced me to him. And Milos has always been kind enough to give me a lot of explanations about bodybuilding. He, at the beginning, took time, sent me a fax. Now I recall that. I thought it was a letter, but it was a fax where he in-depthly explained a lot of things about insulin use, about PD use, how he was going about things, his views of, professional bodybuilding, which for me at the time was something exceptional, because you have to realize I was living in Lugano, a small town in Switzerland. I didn't have any contacts with anybody aside from another pro, Mauro Sarni, at the time, who actually won a pro show in 1992. So a very well-known Italian pro bodybuilder. But aside from that, Milos was my first real contact with the real professional world and Olympia level caliber athlete. So for me, he always represented, somebody I looked up to, somebody who I had a chance, or he gave me a chance to confront myself with. And he absolutely, he never took any money from me, which, I give him credit where credit is due. And he went out of his way trying to explain to me a lot of things that he was doing or he saw right to do. I had contact with him throughout a whole year almost. Few phone calls, probably 2-3 phone calls where we exchanged, well, not exchanged, because I was telling him what I was doing. He was giving me his opinion on those things. Most of the time, I felt very flattered because he was saying that what I was doing was very good, in terms of how I was carb cycling, how I was using PDs and so forth. We had discussions about drugs. At the time, I remember this one discussions about Cytodren, who was very in vogue at the time. Maybe you remember, Dennis, which actually used at that show that, Milos was talking about. Anyway, to make a long story short, a few times I had the chance and the privilege, and I say it as a privilege at the time for me to talk to Milos, where he was giving me his view of things and his opinion about how I should go about things. Now, that being said, I also have to say that Milos never saw me one time throughout the whole process of us being in contact. He had no idea what I looked like, how I was progressing. I never sent him a picture. He never asked for a picture. I also have to say, he never wrote a diet for me. He never said, this is what you have to eat. It was all about yes and no. This is what you're doing. Looks good. A little more, a little less at the beginning. So I never got a diet. I never got a training plan. I never got a drugs plan. He never told me, do this or take this. It was all in that paper that I got at the beginning where he was talking about different ways, different cycles. Huh?
Do you have that paper?
No, unfortunately, I don't have it anymore.
That would explain everything. Anyway, go ahead.
And So never saw me. And then we had a conversation, if I recall well, I don't remember if 3 or 4 weeks before a show, where we talked about depleting, where we talked about carb loading. And to this day, that information I find very interesting. To this day, that information I find useful to some degree, because it is something that, fortunately enough, I always thought of myself as being a very rational person, a person who likes to understand what he's doing. And those things I could understand, since it wasn't my first show, that were not good for me. Those things I could not do. I could not deplete for 7 days on 0 carbs. I could not do a carb load for 3 days with over 1,000 grams of carbs, with insulin every other meal, with the suggestion of doing a aldactone protocol, which, by the way, I've tried, used on other athletes afterwards, on friends of mine here. So those are all things that I knew did not work with me, that I could not do. And I did not do for that show and for any show. And it are things that to this day I don't do and I don't agree with. So the way Milos was seeing things, understanding things, was extremely helpful to me, because I got an insight of this professional world, but never one time did I follow those guidelines. It was interesting. It was useful, again, to understand what the options are, but I did not do it. And to say that he coached me, or I'm talking to you now, Milos, actually, I see you, that you coach me, you haven't even seen me, you never seen a picture of me, you didn't know what I look like. So maybe for you that is coaching, giving me some information, giving me your opinion makes you my coach. Well, I have another idea of coaching somebody. That's why when you said that, it felt a little awkward to me. And another thing is, I felt grateful to you. You know that. Even time after that, I felt very emotional every time I saw you, because I admired you, because I looked up to you, because you are somebody who was living the bodybuilding and transmitted that to me. And that was something that I always appreciated. But I've never followed those things. You never even saw me compete. You never even saw what I looked like. You never wrote a diet for me. So that's when I say it wasn't coaching. You were there when those few times we talked, but making you, taking credit for something, a show that I did, which I didn't deplete, I didn't carb load like that, I didn't cut the water,
You did.
I didn't use
Okay.
aldactone.
You did
Okay.
all those things, and I guarantee it. And I'm going to go one by one. You did everything from A to Z. First, you were Mauro's friend. Mauro's friend is competing in some other federation that I don't even know, right? And you ask Mauro who coached him for the show that he beats you, and he looked great, and he told you, my coach Milos. So he introduced us. And of course, at that time, I was explaining to everybody how insulin works. And as you know very well, you can give somebody insulin protocol and don't give them the diet. As Dennis confirmed and Chris, the amount of carbs that you need to cover the insulin is crucial. Otherwise, person dies. So I would not be irresponsible coach and give something, okay, use this and okay, do your own diet. Number one.
Yes, no, what
Okay.
you wrote, Milos, was
Well,
saying,
I'll let you
if you
speak. So
use
let
10
me
IUs of
say my
insulin,
piece,
you
then you're
use
going to
100
jump in.
grams of carbs. You never wrote me a diet, Milos. You never
Let him
said
speak,
meal
brother.
1, meal 2.
Let him say
yeah,
his
yeah.
piece.
Pat, give
Patrick,
Milos
sorry.
his
I don't want to
Apologies.
call you liar directly on the podcast, but this is what it's going to have to come down to. First, as I said, step by step. You are a competitor in some small federation, small shows, friend of Mauro. I took my time, did not charge you, as you know very well, and I explain you everything from A to Z, how insulin works, how to be used, and all that stuff, including insulin loading for the show. Insulin loading for the show means When you deplete and you're completely carb depleted, that's when you can supercompensate, and that's how you do it. And you do it with the lactone, that you remember the protocol, you remember the cytogen, you remember how much water, how much salt. You were saying this in the last show. I just didn't want to say anything because I want to be a nice host and not be confrontational. But the point is, years after this, as I was telling Dennis, you were sending me thank you notes to the point that I felt uncomfortable because it's nice to be grateful. And you were saying, not just that I help you this, I help you create a business in Switzerland and coaching other people, and you became a coach from the information that I gave you. And that's nice, but it's not necessary. But I felt almost to the point you're overdoing it. Okay, so from that point to the going on the show and they say, what are you talking about? You never coached me. I don't know what you're saying. It's like, holy shit. Okay, and like I said, last week, I was on low testosterone and softy. That's when you go there and shoot something and be a man again. Patrick, I don't give insulin protocol without a diet. And diets, we all know, we all coaches. What do you have? You have a same protein sources for breakfast, lunch, dinner. You manipulate the carbs. You were saying, you had some low carbs, high carbs. Doesn't matter. Depletion loading goes with exact instructions. As Dennis, Jay Cutler, anybody else could tell you, I over-detailed everything. Over-detailed. To protect myself is okay, and to protect my guy. You cannot inject the insulin and let it go. Okay? This is how it is. So bottom line is, I did coach you for free. Okay? I teach you things from the bottom of my heart to make you better bodybuilder, and then you became a coach, and that was it. I didn't brag about it, talk about it or anything, but as you were here on the show, and I do remember, and I mentioned this, there was a moment when by Wednesday you look like shit, and you told me that you look like shit, and I have to conform with you. Just stick with the plan, be patient, and then Thursday you felt better, and Friday you were calling me like unbelievable. That I remember. That's the point I was just gonna mention in the last show, and then you cut me off with the, what are you talking about?
Yeah, because that never happened, Milos. When did you even talk to me before a show?
Patrick, I just made it up. I just made it up out of 1,000 people that I coach. I have this Switzerland guy that is competing in this small federation, and I just made that up. The Wednesday you look like shit, and you were questioning the protocol. Thursday you felt better, and Friday you were amazed. Why would I create it? Why would I come up with this shit?
Hold on, guys.
That's exactly my question is, why would you make up? We didn't even talk for weeks before I get into the show.
Hold on, Patrick. Hold on. What's that? Chris, is that with you?
Hey, I know.
Oh, come on, man.
On the thing, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't know what it was.
Go ahead.
In any way, listen, Patrick. It's obvious that Dennis was sidetracked by what you said. It's okay, Milos, back off. You're old. You may be forgetting and all this. These things I don't forget.
Okay,
I guarantee in my life, everything that I'm saying right now is what happened. If you're going to accept it or not, that's up to you. But you were thanking me constantly, continuously. That was like, wow, Patrick is such a nice, grateful guy. He keeps thanking me for the same thing, like over the top.
Okay.
And why were you thanking me? To create you a better bodybuilder and a better coach. Make a living off of this. And I charge you how much? 0. I gave you something like I do for so many that I don't want to mention. If they mention, okay. I felt comfortable that you were on a program. I'm going to mention it because many people know. And Mauro, by the way, is on a standby if he needs to jump in and say his side.
Well, I never
Mauro
even
is your
talked to
friend.
Mauro.
He introduces and knows all the details.
Okay, all right. So
How
now,
can you know details? I never even talked to Mauro about
Okay,
it.
yeah. I guess you did.
okay, which is not that important right now. What's important is for me is, and this is something that I want to say to both of you. This whole thing could have been out the world 2 weeks ago at the podcast because, I think Patrick made the mistake by not saying this when you said you coached him. And I think Milos made a mistake by not saying what he just said when you said you don't remember that he never coached you, because we could have done this the same thing at the same day. So, at the end of the day, it seems like, I know Milos' protocols because he sent it to me too, and it was literally not that far off time-wise. Then you got it. It's the same facts. It's fucking a shitload. I can't tell you the exact number of pages. But I did run out of paper. I had to get more paper for my fax machine to finish the whole fax. And I recall, him having the food on there, what to do. So I don't think that Milos writes this every time. I think he has this. Do you, Milos? I'm sure you right here. Why I'm guessing. Do you send the same protocol? Has that protocol changed over the years, or is it still the same?
And there's many athletes out there. They know Brazilian or this. I asked them for their diet, and Patrick, probably you gave me your diet, and your diet was quite good. You were covering the bases. You were doing the right thing. It's your choice if you're gonna have eggs in the morning and chicken in second meal and fish in third meal and beef and whatever else. So in general, when I met you, and I said last time, you were jacked when I met you, big bodybuilder, all that stuff. Like, yeah, obviously know what you're doing. But you came to me, not me coming to you, wanting to be. By the way, this is another thing.
And he never denied that.
I never approach anybody to coach them.
Milos,
ever.
Yeah, but Milos, he never denied that. We all agree with that. He knows, and he said he was grateful for that. I just wanted to square this and get this out the way for people to understand what his side is, what he thinks, and what your side is, so we know. What was going on. It makes a lot of sense for someone to know exactly what to do to the last day of the show. What I hear from this conversation is that, Patrick, you might think to coach someone means there's more involvement there from a coach. Maybe that's not the way you coach now and you are more involved. I don't know. I don't want to drag this out too long, to be perfectly honest. I just wanted to give you out there so you can say your side, because you obviously made the mistake by just pretending like you don't know what he's talking about. And
when he says that he talked to me 3 days before the show, and I was saying that I didn't feel, he never talked to me before the show. We'd stopped talking.
How would I know that you were so displeased and you look like shit? And
that's what
I
like to know. That's what I like to know, how you know something like that, because it didn't happen.
You think honestly, you think that I made that up?
Well, that's what shocked me. Is like, why would you need to say?
Because I remember like a fucking elephant, and you were that example. And and as Dennis knows, if I give you depletion, now you say 7 days 0 carbs, which I never do. Okay, no, not 7 days 0 carbs, but I do go very low carbs for the time needed for that big body that depends to deplete. And after I deplete you, I'm going to carb load you, and I'm going to carb load you like a motherfucker with insulin. And with
what I'm saying is, if I never
food, specific time, as Dennis would know, he'd tell you 5 or 5:05. This is German precision, and that's how I was working with everybody. So, bottom line here is, you are on this program to apologize to Dennis for something and maybe apologize to me. Well, I instructed you for free for a competition, whichever competition is, I forgot. I don't know which it was. Gave you specifics about carbs, protein, the insulin, the timing, sodium, aldactone, cytogen, drugs, everything. So for me, it's good enough to call it coaching. I wasn't your coach proudly saying that, but I do remember you are one of the guys that I did help with enormous information. Like Chris would say, okay, I gave him some info. He values, is grateful, he talks about it. You, on another hand, are putting me in our podcast looking like...
you're putting me in a hot spot, because I never depleted. I never used the aldactone.
Oh, yeah, okay, you didn't.
I never carb loaded with the...
So you lied to me. You lied to me, you didn't. Compliance of the client, right? Well,
if I had done those things, then I'll say yes. But I never done those things at any of the show. And I
So you
don't do
got
those
my
things
plan, but
with
you
any of
just
my
chose not to
clients.
do it, so it doesn't count. Okay. I guess we clarified it. I guess we clarified it. It
Well-
makes sense. Way to go.
Yeah. But why were you thanking him so many years over and over again? What were you thanking him for?
Chris, he explained why, because he said he was grateful for the information that Milos provided. So that's
If you never
I know,
used,
but if it wasn't,
I know.
if you
that
never
much
used,
or it
why
wasn't
would
that
you
valuable,
thank somebody
Guys.
for information you would never use?
guys. Okay,
Because
all right.
for me at the time, it was an honor to talk to you, that you took time to do that. I looked up to you, and to have contact with you, be able to even discuss things with you. For me, it was an honor, and I
Lester, you'll make
admired you.
sure to say that I never coached you. If
that's
anybody
kind of the
else asks
same
me,
thing to me.
I'm going to make sure to say that.
Okay, listen, guys, I don't want to drag this out because I just wanted to give Patrick the opportunity to talk to Milos and Milos to talk to Patrick. We still have a guest that's coming on right now. So, Patrick, I thank you for coming on and clearing the air so far. Milos,
All right.
now we all know what was going on. And, you know, maybe he didn't see this as coaching, and for you, this is coaching. I would consider this coaching in some way because all this information you don't just give to someone if
You don't just give it to people.
But if he didn't follow what it was saying, that maybe
Doesn't count.
It's still sharpening your skill set.
Yeah,
on what you're doing.
and for that he thanked him several years. So that's not even a
Absolutely.
question. That's not the question. Patrick, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Take care and be safe, brother.
Yes.
All right.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Let's bring on Tony, who's our guest for today. There he
That was
is.
fun.
There he is.
Did I say Tony? Did I say Tony? I want to say Tonio. Tonio. Is it Tonio or is it Antonio? What is it?
Just Tonio.
Just Tonio. Just Tonio. Hey. So listen, so I wanted you to come on here today because we need to talk. You know what I mean? And we need to talk because I got Chris right here who's telling me all kind of things.
Oh, Chris.
What am I telling you?
Yeah.
What am I telling you?
Yeah, no, listen. First, I need Milos to come down a little bit because he's pretty.
I don't want to do that.
No, listen. This
Go have
is your absolute right to do. You know, and
Go have a cigarette, Milos.
Yeah, have a blunt or something. Yeah,
Right.
Tonio. Thanks for making it to the show, brother. I appreciate you and your time. And
How's it going, Tonio?
Yeah, how's it going?
Good.
Listen,
I got
listen.
excited about coming back over with you guys.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
listen, you had to sit there Sunday and watch the Detroit Pro and tell yourself, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Let me ask you the first question that I'm going to ask before I let Chris take over is the first question: why were you not in the show? Why did you wait so long to commit for the show?
So we planned to do New York, but coming into the Arnold, I was actually at Ralph's gym, so I already seen what he was looking like. And I told Justin, I was like, yo, this is ours. Like, you know, he's not in it. He's not conditioned like that. Like, we got this. So we put our eggs in that basket. And when after the show came, Justin wanted to focus on New York. But then Fuad and Ben Chow kept, saying like, hey, jump in. Like, we'll cover everything, your flights, hotel, whatever. And I got back into the States on Tuesday. And, seeing family and
so
everything.
you missed the deadline.
Yeah, by a day.
Did you not know that Monday is always the deadline? Monday before the show?
No, I didn't know that. I remember seeing something about a week or something before the athletes list goes out or whatever.
Yeah.
But
and I think
I reached out.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was saying I reached out to Tyler and asked him if we could get in or whatever, whatnot, and then he explained the whole thing of why not. But it wasn't because I seen who was doing it and I was like, oh, we can do this. It was more so got with family first and then, talk to them first.
Right. I never doubted you not going into the show because you worry about someone. Nah. But here's the thing, and I think this was that particular case was the reason for another email going out to all promoters to let, to put on their website or put it out in public to let pro athletes know that if you want to compete, you know, back in the days it was different. They sent you a contract, you signed the contract, and then you're in the show. Or it was no problem to go jump into a show like the day before. You know, they would still make exemptions. But, you know, now sometimes they have to be, you know, because it's hard to promote a show if you don't have a lineup. And for some of the guys to sign up the day before, that's not helping my show anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can't announce that you're in the show and sell and hopefully sell some tickets. You know, so that's why I think this is also a reason why they're doing this, that you have to commit early, and you know, in order to you know, make the show. That way, the promoter has a chance to throw out the names who are doing the show. You know, because it was. I don't want to say it was a weak lineup, but it was a weak lineup.
Yeah.
You know,
Can be a devil's advocate, you know, Dennis, and I know that Steve is listening and Tyler, everybody else. I'm not trying to be a pain in the ass or anything, but Tonio, pro champion, Olympia competitor, did not know about the rule for sign up by Monday, 6 days before. Many people don't.
No. You can't say that because it was public.
Well, public, but okay, he didn't know. He just said he didn't know.
I'm not even competing, and I know it.
Well, I know because one of my athletes had that before. But then the second point is, if we know who is competing, and now we want to jump in, what does that matter? Like, oh, that's not fair now. Like,
it's not. It's not about. It's not about.
It's about the promoters and trying to.
Milos, it's not about that. It's they have to make us. They have to stop it at one point. They have to literally say at one point, this is it. And now, from now on, and this counts for everyone. And and Tonio was now a very good example. He was a potential winner, and they wouldn't allow him to go in because he missed the deadline. If they would let him in, they know we all talk. So next time somebody says, "Oh, I didn't know," and that's not a good excuse anymore. So they have to prove a point. Say, listen, guys. Monday before the show, that's 6 days. If it's Saturday, it's 5 days. Come on. If you don't know 5 days before a show that you're going to do the show, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, but
he probably would you? I expected you, Tony, to even do the show even if you win Brazil.
Of course.
By the way, which I thought you should have, but that's a different topic. Chris is going to explain that.
But just like if you do a camp, Dennis, you still have a cutoff day.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You see how we do it? Because it's different now, Milos. There's no more contracts. You don't sign the contract and send it back. Right now, it's online. So it's literally the same thing they do for the amateurs. For the amateurs, you have an online registration, and online registration ends at a certain date. And then there's no more online registrations. So if you come...
There's no Wi-Fi in Brazil, man. He couldn't do it.
No, Milos, he explained. He explained. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because if they let him slide, they're going to have to let the next one slide.
But it's discretion of IBB office. I'm serious.
I think that this is...
Tyler should have a power of deciding to say, listen, okay.
Yes.
You know, exceptions to the rules always...
how many times you want to do it? How many times you want to do it?
Times?
Milos.
Maybe let it slide 1 to 3 times.
Milos.
Hey, Milos.
It's 2024, and 2024, the rule is, 2024, guys, the rule is you have to sign up Monday before that show. If it's a Saturday show or a Sunday show, it doesn't matter. The Monday before is the last day to enter by 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Milos.
And I'm sure now everybody knows.
I would have let him in the show anyway.
Me too.
I would have let him in.
I know, but we are not running the show. We are not the one that have to explain to other athletes why can't he and I can't. We're not the ones doing that. We're just talking about the show and trashing stuff. So, but Tyler is going to be the one that said, Tyler, you let Tonio slide. Why don't you let me slide? I really didn't know.
I would say you make it in before the meeting, then you're good to go.
Yeah, but that's how it used to be. But back in the days,
message that we are sending is now we should all know. We are bodybuilders. Talk to your bro that maybe didn't hear this before. Did you hear this? By Monday, you have to sign up. So from now on, no excuses.
Just another email went out just yesterday. on all
Yeah, but
to all promoters.
some people don't, like Kevin Lebroni doesn't have an email.
Kevin Rome he has an email.
He said he doesn't.
But here's what I'm saying. This is just now, this case is a case so everybody understands that now. And I guarantee you there's a lot of others that had to not compete in shows this year because they weren't allowed to enter no more. You know, it's a little different than what it used to be. So, and I you know what? I like the fact that he is super strict with this now. I really like that. Because this is not only about you, this is about for everybody. This counts. Listen, if the champion, if Nick Walker doesn't sign up for the New York Pro, he's not in the show. It doesn't matter who it is.
Right.
And I like that about that whole situation. So it's just sad that you couldn't get on that stage. Because now, what's next for Tonio? What are you doing now?
We still have New York, and then I'm not going to make the same mistake again. I already signed up for Cal as well.
What's the okay? Let's talk about Brazil, Arnold Brazil. How did you feel about placing second? You know, and listen, we just watched it from the stream. We weren't there. Chris wasn't there. Chris actually was watching on the phone, which is even worse.
Cell phone.
Cell phone, yeah. What other phone?
Same one. Same one I'm on right now.
I know that's why the quality picture is so bad. No,
yeah, because I lost my
listen,
from my laptop.
Yeah. So I said what I said, and I think that I love Rafael's physique. There's no doubt about it. Rafael in Columbus would have walked away with perfect score. Mm-hmm. You know, because he's just that much bigger, you know, in certain areas and has beautiful shape. Now, the Rafael from Brazil was not even close to the Rafael in Brazil. And we all can agree to that, right? Chris?
Right.
Because Chris is the only one that had a problem. Chris is the only one that thinks that
I didn't have a problem.
You had Rafael winning.
I didn't have a problem.
You had
Chris had a problem.
But you had Rafael winning clearly from the get-go.
No, I wasn't. I mean, I just thought when I saw...
Should I pull the messages up?
Pull them up.
You don't want me to do that.
You said you rest your case. You called it.
Yeah, he said, I rest my case right away in the beginning. So anyways, so Chris, you know, I mean, Chris.
I rest my case.
But we all know.
But I was right, though.
But yeah, unfortunately for us. But, you know, we all know Chris. Chris looks deep. He looks deeper than me because I glance first, I see things, and I start to like this and I pay attention to this more. Chris pays attention to the negative shit. He doesn't look at the good stuff. He looks, that's how he, and there's nothing wrong with Chris. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, I don't do what you do. He's looking for things that are not good. You know, while me and Milos, we overall look and we see the good things. Chris is looking for the bad things. And you know, and me and Chris were almost arguing over the phone. When I said, no, it wasn't it was on the podcast last week where I said, listen, when I look at condition, flow, I mean, we can't say that Tonio Burton has bad shape. He has great shape. You know, he's not as tall as Rafael, which is a benefit for Rafael, but Rafael was off, clearly off with 3 Fs. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm not trashing Rafael because I say when he's on, he would have walked away with that show hands down.
And I actually said that on I did a podcast, and I said, I'm a fan of his physique. Mm-hmm. I said, but it's going to come to conditioning. And I said, because, you know, we have this similar physique with the aesthetics, but if his conditioning's off, it's mine to take. But I know if he comes like he did at the Arnold, Ohio, then, I mean, it would have been more just a fun battle because he has a height, he's big as hell, and his posing isn't bad at all. So he didn't lack anything really. It was just his conditioning was gone. Yeah. So that's what kind of rubbed me the wrong way because it's kind of like if you don't need conditioning, then why diet? and just come in big and full.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Rafael's fault that he won the
Right.
show. Listen, it's
Oh
not,
yeah, no, I'm not knocking Rafael at all.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that, Chris pointed out the things that he didn't like, and actually at one point Chris said that if you had deeper lines in your quads, you probably would have won the show. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I keep hearing the deeper lines in the quads. I think it came more so to how the lighting was, because in some shots you see the quad lines and everything, and in some shots you don't.
Well, but you have to understand, if you say that, then I have to think the same about Rafael. So maybe he would have been better if the lighting was better.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I say the same thing about Vito as well.
Okay.
You see in some of the pictures, we're shaded out on a lot of shots, whether it's our hamstrings or even our stomachs.
Yeah.
But no, I think I definitely need to work on legs overall as well. I mean, size, period. But now there's some shots like my most muscular. I didn't hit my quads hard or my ab and thigh. Only hit one quad on that one, and that was the one I was picking up.
Do you think that cost you the first place? I'm sorry, Milos, I cut you off.
Honestly, I think like when Tamer comes out with his video of why he picked whoever, I want to say it come down to his physique being better than mine. I think now that I look back at the videos and everything, I made rookie mistakes. As in when he did the ab and thigh and he stepped in front of me, he kind of blocked me, and I didn't move out the way to hit my shot. I kind of just shook my head, smiled, and stayed on my place. Or when we were lined up and we had to spread out, I was so far out to the side, and I was close to him and Vito. So I think I just did a few things I could have done better.
Did Tamer make the video?
Huh?
Did Tamer make the video?
Nah, not yet. I heard he was supposed to go on Muscle Discord podcast and talk about why he chose Rafa, but I haven't heard nothing yet.
But okay, so as Dennis asked you, we were all the way here in the States. You were there in Brazil, standing right next to him, seeing him backstage. You made a comment like he was not even close to being in condition, right? So you think that the show would be clearly yours? I mean, you pretty much...
Oh, yeah. When I was backstage with Justin, because we were looking at all the athletes, and we're seeing where people were lacking things at and where we could capitalize at. Any show I go to, I'm not going to be the biggest. You know what I mean? So I got to see what their weakness is and, run with it. And we noticed from the back, there wasn't really anyone that was conditioned like that besides Vito's glutes and hamstrings. But backstage, it was just like, okay, yeah, he's not conditioned like that. I think at the athlete check-ins before we got on stage, he was eating like a bowl of noodles. So I was like, they're trying to come so big, so full, instead of having a conditioning game.
He spilled
and
over,
it worked for him. Huh?
He spilled over, you think?
Chris, you're a big critic, but you do agree that Tonio won both back shots, right?
Yeah.
I think he won an ab and thigh shot, even though he right now said you were hitting abs perfectly, flat, deep, small waist, everything was perfect, and your leg is swept and separated. Now I know that Chris would want to see the feathers, and I don't blame you for it. No, but like that.
I know that
you
Chris
won that shot. Front double, okay? I said that, and this is all constructive criticism, analysis. So maybe you'll take something from it. I think that you pose, like Arnold was saying in Pumping Iron to that guy, don't pose like a small man, open up and be bigger. I think that you are too close, compact. You should open up, raise, cover more space, because you are considered a smaller guy. You have a beautiful shape, V-taper, but take more space. I think it's going to work for you. Lat spread is beautiful. I mean, Rafa has a beautiful lat spread too. Okay, so that is awesome. I think that you improve your side shots, but I still think that you need a thicker, fuller chest, and that's another story. But side shots, maybe side chest, because he's so full, could go to his. I don't know what you guys think.
I tell you.
Go ahead.
No, finish. Side triceps.
Side triceps are also super competitive. Yeah, super competitive. And then go to the most muscular.
This is what I looked for when they were both on the side. And I see the comparisons over and over. And not talking about our stream now. I'm talking about afterwards on videos that that were posted. When they're on the side, I mean, I'm talking about the detail on the side of the leg. You know, it was just Rafael just wasn't there, and for me, it's very simple. For me, Tonio won this based off of the condition. He was just so far superior conditioned, and he is not less structurally pleasing. Yeah. You know, so what are we awarding now? I mean, who gets the most screams? Or no, I'm trying to say that's what I said last week. I said I think that the crowd influenced, if it's close, if it's really close, and somebody's on the break. What are we gonna do? What am I gonna do? That's what we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. Kind of. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said what I said last week. You know, I'm just judging. You know, and I'm not best friends with neither one of them. I know both of them, and I like them both. But I gotta judge what I see when I look at it. Like I said, again, we looking at the screen. I wasn't there. I know things look different when you sit in front of the stage. So even somebody comes across better on screen doesn't mean it's the same that when you're there.
Right.
You know? But I've seen Rafael 100 times, and I know what he looks like when he's in shape. And that wasn't him. When he did the real lat spread, he had wrinkles in his lower back like this thick. You know, that's not there when you're in shape. So that's why I thought he was unfortunate.
If you would get some advices from us, right? Chris is very particular. As Danny said, he looked for little details. So in between poses, when you were turning around, doing like maybe twisting a shot before you would go into the side shots, you let your stomach go just, you know, I was the same like you. I had a small stomach, small waist, so I didn't really pay attention. And then when I look at the video, I'm like, oh, I could have done that better. Right? So many times. So remember, judges are always there, and million Instagram photos are going to be there, and YouTube and everything else. You don't have a commodity to be anything less than perfect. There's no relaxing on stage. Everything is rehearsed. Everything is a show. I know when you came out and you were holding the arms a little bit too long, you're walking there, you know, that doesn't do nothing for your physique. You have beautiful structure. Show it right away. Don't give those wait a minute moment. Wait until I reset. Wait until I turn around, right? So from front to side has to be a show already. You know exactly where you're going to go. There's not a microsecond that you should, somebody can photograph and say, aha, I have a bad picture of Tonio. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're at that level. I'm a big fan of your physique. I've seen you at the Reno. I say, who the hell is this 12 guys? You could have actually beat Sergio at that show already. You were just like probably not allowed at that
just
point.
Just barely came from the 212.
Yeah. Well, I talked to the judges after that, and it was because it being in Reno, I wanted to be too hyped, and I couldn't breathe. So I was on the diagonal with Sean Clarita, and he's holding me up, and I'm trying to catch my breath. And so after the judge said it, he was like, "We had you in top 3, but you look like you had a breathing problem, so we couldn't put you back out there."
How much posing were you doing at that time?
That's a new one.
So I practiced with KJ. So we always pose. I just let my
Who's KJ?
Joey KJ center stage. He's in Vegas.
Oh, I heard
Joey Bell.
Yeah, I heard of this before. Yeah, KJ center stage.
But what I'm saying is, how long were you posing? Like, were you in shape and posing? And you
I can hold poses. Like, I don't sweat on stage. But the problem was I was yelling and screaming, telling Reno, let's go, stand up, and exerting so much energy into screaming instead of posing. I wasn't a bodybuilder. I was a cheerleader that day.
Okay. I tell you what the problem was. You probably didn't have no tequila before the show.
Hey, you can't be telling people that.
I already blew that shit out. Everybody already knows.
Yeah, I know. I caught it on the last one.
Hey, so am I get a turn now?
Go ahead, Chris.
Uh-oh.
You unmuted. You can go.
Okay, so yeah, first of all, when you're walking out there, your hands were like this, like Milos said. Stage presence wasn't there. Let's start from the bottom. When you walked out, you didn't really bend your legs that much. Do you know what I mean? Did you ever take a look at that?
No.
When you do a pose, when you're a shorter guy, you still have to bend your knees and bend your legs into different poses to make them accentuate them more. Don't worry about I'm not that tall, so I'm gonna stand tall. Who used to do that? Flex Lewis used to do that. Pose like a short guy trying to be taller type of thing. When it's like you have your body, you have your structure, that's God given, but your toes up into the arch of your foot, to your heel, to your knee, the knee bend, or you younger guys say knee flexion, to
What?
your hips,
What was that, Chris? What?
knee flexion. I don't know what these guys be talking on. Got to use these different words and shit. They don't understand. Just bend your knee.
Kylie, look up knee flexion. What's that in the dictionary? I have no idea.
Ask the gym bros.
Extension, flexion, you know?
Okay.
And then your hips can be utilized. You know, you're just doing this whole leaning tower type pose in the front double. The side tricep, it was actually sideways when you can actually be shoulder to shoulder and down into the waist. You have such a small waist, but like Milos said, you was letting go of your lower abdomens in a lot of different poses, and that just blows the whole pose. And you do that 3/4 back shot, and you have a little tummy coming out right here when you actually have a small waist. That just takes away from the pose. So all these things I'm looking at, and like, you know, even say your back double and all that stuff, I see you have the separation, you have the body. I've spoken to you many times. I invited you, like I told that Dennis, I invited you to come and train and pose. I invited you, years ago. I already seen your potential. I know how good you can be. I know how good you are. And I know all these things is why I'm critical over you, because I know your potential. And I know I expect great things from you. And I told you that face to face, correct?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I said you could do the same thing Dexter did with your body. Just take your time and do it. Don't try to be the biggest guy on the stage right now. Just be the best you can be. And your time's going to come. It's going to come. Just be smart with your body. And I did mean that. If you had, strided quads,
Right.
have you ever seen striations in your quads before?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen it? Wait, have you seen them in your back?
Striations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You could be one big fucking striation and you can beat people like that.
It's true. He got a point.
Right.
You can beat people like that. You don't have to try to be this big dude, fill your body full of striations, beat some fucking ass, put your work into the posing. Don't come like that. You get your stage presence down and do it time and time again and get out of this sport what you deserve. And you're that good. And I told you that at the Cal in California. I told you that in Reno. And I told you that and gave you my number and invited you to come work on your craft. I wasn't trying to charge you. I was trying to help you.
No,
I
I
didn't
remember
say
you
nothing
told me
about
that.
money, did I?
Nah.
No.
That money talk will come.
So-
That money talk will come later. No.
No. If I got to put more time
I'm kidding.
and put
I'm
more
kidding.
time,
I'm kidding. No, Chris is like that. Chris offers, and he doesn't offer help to everybody, but he knows talent when he sees it. Let's put it this way. And he knows, and I totally agree with everything you just said. From the negative to the positive, I agree with everything. You can be 15% better than you are right now, and you're great. But you can turn that into something special. If you get all the striations, because you're one of those athletes that can get that grainy, super slice condition. Others can't even get there. That doesn't matter. They stop eating for 6 months. They can't get that peeled. So you have that quality that you can get super, super hard. Take advantage of it, bro, for real, because those are shows that you should win.
I'm going to always expect the most out of you because that's what I believe. Whenever I believe it, I'm going to tell you it. And I'm not going to tell you something I don't believe. I'm not that type of person, but I'm always going to hold you to a high standard when I see you go up there to compete, because that's, like I said, that's what I believe.
Yeah.
And that's what I got to say.
So what's the plan for New York now? So New York is in what, 4.5 weeks?
Yeah, about 4 weeks. Yeah.
4 weeks. So you're basically just cruising now.
Something like that. I mean, pushing hard still. I mean, even though I'm like, I guess you could say stage ready and just, deplete water, but I'm not looking at it that way. I mean, it's Nick too, so.
Okay, but what are you trying to do the next 4 weeks? What are you trying to improve on?
I mean, everything really. And then talking to you guys. So I even said I wouldn't do podcasts anymore after what happened last time.
Oh,
but
really?
when you hit me up, yeah.
But did you really stop up his toilet?
Man, so I didn't even know what that was. So when I see people saying stuff about toilets, I'm like,
Did you stop up his toilet?
Nah, I even asked someone, I said, hey, what's this toilet joke? Like, what does that mean? And then he explained it to me. I'm like,
He said you
I'm like, that don't even sound real.
That probably means you took a shit and didn't flush.
So didn't flush it, or didn't flush down, or maybe it's too
so
much.
my thing, I was like, okay. So when I was talking to one of the Brazilian fans, I was like, look, at the end of the day, what if I used his bathroom that way and I messed it up? I take accountability. I would have fixed it. Not leave it there for the cleaning lady to do it.
You would have blew it up?
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I never even used his bathroom like that.
Listen, maybe it wasn't you.
So that's what was funny.
Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe it was some... Now, listen, in Rafael's defense, Rafael is a good guy. He's not using anything to make you look bad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I even already like the fact that he says, here, use my gym, even though he knows you're a competitor that is not only somebody that's going to be on stage, but somebody that's really dangerous for him. You know, not a lot of people will say, here, use my private gym. They will say, find yourself a gym like everybody else. Now, with the toilet, that doesn't mean it was you. You know, whatever he meant. So I don't want to trash Rafael, because I know he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I wouldn't let that slide on your side either.
And one more thing I want to say, Dennis, want to interrupt you.
You already did.
I said I don't want to.
So polite. I don't want to. One more thing. I didn't want to interrupt you, but go ahead.
I don't want to
Chris.
sound racist, but but I'm gonna say this stupid shit. Anyway.
Go ahead.
Hey, so check this. So, yeah, said, I know I was reading the thing, because it was, it was comedy to me. I think it's pretty funny myself, because I like a little bit of chippiness backstage, or a little bit of something going into shows. I like to use stuff like that for energy and for, making me better. But I just thought it was funny because you said that, you was talking to people, and he was just being like, he didn't want to say nothing to you, or you felt some type of energy. But I wanted to say, we competed against a guy named Dorian Yates, and Dorian didn't speak to none of us backstage. We were good friends. I was like the closest friend to him. I thought, but he never said the only time he said anything to me is when he was looking for me, because I had his shoes on, his slippers, and because I thought they were mine and they were his, and we had the same color shoes and size. So I was walking around in his shoes, and he was looking for me. That's the only time he really spoke to me backstage when we were competing, was that time. Other than that, he didn't say shit to me, like until he retired.
But
but
Chris, that was pretty normal back then. We all, even though as soon as the show's over, everybody gets after prejudging.
Yeah,
but before the shows, once it gets to the end, Chris, you was you were different. You could not compare yourself to anybody. Chris, listen. Chris is not the kind of person like me. I'm gonna take myself for an example, because I can talk about myself. I would know these people, but I'm in my own zone. This is like I'm going to war. I'm trying to be at my best. Now, see, Chris will fuck around with everybody. Like he's not even in the show. He would literally act like he's not in the show. He doesn't walk like a bodybuilder. He walk like an average person. This dude right there, shit. If he won't take off his clothes and have his fucking yellow thong on, I wouldn't know he's in the show.
So
for real, though. For real. Milos, am I lying?
Oh, dude, I was always...
Chris could have a whole bunch of people in his room the night before the show.
I'm loose. I'm loose.
Yeah.
I'm loose.
Yeah. I mean, you know that
Couple of go-go dancers, backstage with him.
Oh, by the way, I love the video that Kylie, she put it in on Sunday's podcast. Did you watch it back, Chris? I never saw this. This is the first time I saw it.
Is it really?
Yeah. She had no ass. Zero.
I know.
Oh.
I know. I just thought she'd be good. I said, hey, you want to come to the show and do this thing with me?
Was she literally a stripper?
Well, it was a go-go dancer. I don't. It wasn't a strip club. It was in a go-go.
By the way, Milos, I saw you going back and forth with one of the fans on the comment section, saying you don't know what a go-go bar is. You said, you still don't know what a go-go bar is? Are you still saying you never been to a go-go bar?
You reminded me. Okay, now,
I reminded you.
The memory came back.
But listen,
I was in Thailand 5 times.
I reminded you in the podcast last week.
No, man.
But a couple of days ago, you wrote in the comment, a couple of days ago, you still...
the two.
Oh, okay.
I'm like Patrick,
Yeah.
Now you don't know.
I got the plan, but he didn't coach this kind of.
Just the first thing I take people when they came to visit me in Thailand, the first thing I did is I take them to a go-go bar.
No. Hold on, Dennis. You had a tour in a limo from Bangkok to Pattaya for me. Anyway.
It's called a pickup service.
Yeah, that was good. I don't know what you're talking about.
You come visit me.
Why you don't want to talk about it?
We come.
Exactly.
Hey, you come
Let's
visit
focus
me.
on
I
Tonio,
will
man.
pick you up in style. Yes, Tonio. My question to you is this: now you going into the New York Row, and you know Nick Walker is doing the show, who's absolutely, of course, the high favorite going into the show because he's higher ranked than you. Now, you said you already signed up for California. You probably think just in case. Where do you see your chances against Nick?
I think so. I've said this on podcasts before. I think I have better shape than Nick. Definitely has more muscle, so I'm not even going to try to compete with that. But I feel like if I can come with the same conditioning, if not better than his, and display my shape that I have compared to his on certain shots to make my waist look or his waist look more big than what it actually is, then I think I can pull off a win that way. But if I just try to go in there size game with him, then
where would you see yourself in the Olympia?
This year's Olympia,
Any year.
Okay, well, I'm in top 6 this year. I was 8 last year, so this year 6.
I mean, if you can beat a Nick Walker, you're a guaranteed top 6 spot in the Olympia.
Oh yeah. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, when I say top 6, I'm not saying 6. I'm saying anywhere in that top 6.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into New York thinking, all right, well, so me and Stu are gonna battle for second. So let's see. I mean, then I already lost. There's no point in doing it.
Milos,
Well, listen. I'm a huge fan of.
I'm just trying to ask the question, Milos, for you. I said, Milos. Oh, you thought I gave you the table. Now listen, I wanted to ask you: can Tonio beat Nick Walker in New York? Do you believe that?
It's hard to imagine it. Let's put it this way: it's hard to imagine it because that's Nick Walker we are talking about, and Nick coming with a vengeance. He wants to win the Olympia. He's jacked right now, but so Tonio cannot beat him. Pose for pose, muscle for muscle on a freaky size and all that shit. He already said conditioning can be close or better. He has a better shape. Now he has to create illusion and work on every pose, analyzing Nick's front double, Nick's slat spread, Nick's side chest, Nick's, what you're going to do, in the comparison. I think, and please do this in front of the mirror, tweak around some of your poses, like front double. I know you're used to doing it that way. Just try. Lift your biceps above the shoulders, create a little bit more peak, spread out, and just see what it looks like. You might be shocked. What Chris told you, bend your legs one way or another and see, maybe you're going to create illusion of even more leg size that you're going to need against Nick. Side, your abs are perfect, flat 8-pack board. So if you can bring this on a side tricep shot, because legs has to go sideways, and you show that hanging hamstring and glutes and everything that looks so impressive. You beat Rafa in lower body, hands down from the side. So you bring this, but you tweak around, as Chris told you, create that reverse pyramid, like wide at the top. Your shoulders are good, and then
Like a-
abs. So
Yeah.
right now, that improves your side triceps and makes it competitive. How competitive? You never know. Shit, right?
Okay, so is it yes or no?
Can he beat him? Yeah, it's
Hey,
possible.
he's giving me tips right now. Let him keep going.
Hey, I'm giving him more tips. Hold on.
Okay.
I don't like. Okay, what I think that Tonio needs to improve big time would be fullness of the chest, and just by him having such a developed back, he's probably had that posture a little bit over, right? And then shoulders are jacked like crazy, right? He needs to put it here. I assume that his chest workouts, he doesn't go maybe expand the chest like a maniac, like stick like crazy.
So his shoulders
And then,
take over. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, shoulders take over. Slow eccentric. Put the load on the chest and go slowly lower with the chest pain. Not lowering and lifting and pushing. No. The only thing that you need to do is create the chest pain. Burn your chest, burn, right? These kind of things. So I will go slow eccentrics and then squeeze like a maniac. Create that, cross-threaded. Like any flying movement, you keep it there, up to here and squeeze like a maniac. Like force your chest out. So, and then when you do the side chest, you stick it out, right? That's the only thing you need. You don't need it in the shoulder, arm, legs.
Yeah,
You
that's
need it
side
here.
chest.
Yeah. So
You can get more out of that chest.
yeah, if he has that, he's little fucking dynamite. I mean, Jesus Christ, Dexter Jackson.
What was your stage weight? Do you know that?
It was 222, 223.
That's great.
Yeah.
How heavy is let's say Hadi?
Probably the same.
Really?
I don't think he's more. Maybe 230.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So they would say, okay,
It's his condition, his detail that makes him look much bigger.
Yeah, I thought he was like 260.
I don't think for a minute that he's even. I think what do you think? 230, Hadi? 230?
32 max.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay.
You look fucking way bigger than 220 or 222.
But if you think
You look like you're 240 yourself, especially when you turn around. When you turn around and you do a back lat spread next to Rafael, you look the same size.
That's what a few people were saying. That's crazy. Yeah.
And he is 260 when he's in shape, so he was probably 270.
Yeah, he looked extra big.
Yeah.
Like, he was full.
Yeah. Yeah, I think listen, I agree with everything everybody says. Chris, can you beat Nick Walker?
I think it'll be tough at this show here.
Yeah.
But if he did have a shot to do it, he's just gonna have to. It's gonna have to be his peak performance. All those things that we talked about need to be taken very seriously. If he can act, I don't know how much he could change the fullness of his chest within this length of time, but if you have, you're gonna have to totally finesse if you have any shot at Nick Walker this time. As far as like those lines got to be in from head to toe, and it could be done. I know that.
Okay,
I know
so
it can be done.
I'm going to give my honest opinion.
So that's what I got to say.
Yeah, I give my honest opinion. I think that to beat Nick Walker at the New York Pro is going to be almost impossible.
Almost. You throw that
Yeah,
Almost as good as
yeah,
no.
because and I explain to you why. I say almost impossible because the chance that you have is that Nick fucks up and comes in off. That will be your only shot at this point in time.
Right.
And I'm saying
No,
this.
I agree.
I'm
I
saying
agree.
this with all due respect because you have the shape. Yes, you have better shape, but so does a lot of other people that can't beat him. And this is strictly because he has the condition and he has that sheer muscle. So he overpowers. If you would have been 260, his size, then you have a way better shot. Because he would still overpower you. And this is what we always talk about, that sometimes, less symmetry, but with granite condition and freaky body parts, it's just, people just like to see that,
Right.
So,
Yeah.
how much does Nick Walker step on stage? At 240, 250?
Easy 250 plus.
Okay, so if you're 30 pounds less, you're about the same height. It's going to show in certain, in a lot of poses. So that's why I'm thinking. But here is what I think is going to happen for you. It's going to be closer than a lot of people think, because and this is good for you, because even though you might end up in second, this would be your second place if you end up in second. Then you'll take that to California, and you basically just pick up a check.
Let's speak honestly. Nick is a legitimate contender to win a title.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Olympia title. that's how good Nick
Who
is.
else is in the show?
Yeah, who
Give
else
him
is?
a run for his money is great.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anyone else jumping into New York yet.
Okay, Chris, what happened to your guy, man? The guy looks like he's competing in 20 years.
Oh, next
Right here. He's right here.
Yeah, well, ask him. What's up?
That boy Nick is crazy.
From the Arnold to the New York
Is he in the
Pro.
room? Is he in the room there? Come on.
No, I want Chris to ask him, because Chris speaks Spanish.
Come on, give us a little bicep, bro.
He's doing Dubai.
Oh, now he's doing Dubai. Why is he not doing New York? Is he worried?
No, I don't think he's worried.
No.
I think he's going to. He's gonna train.
Tonio feels me. He feels me.
He's gonna train in oxygen.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's going over there.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's going to end up with even bigger legs. That's what you're saying?
No.
Why is he not?
Crazy.
Why is he not training with you? Why is he not coming to the States?
Well, yeah. I mean, I live in America. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna go out there and train in the Middle East.
Oh, okay. I hope. Hey, I hope that shit don't start now with all that bullshit going on. You go out there, you're never coming back. Shit, with all that shit going on right now, I'll stay my ass home.
No, man.
Shit, I would not fuck around in the Middle East right now. That shit's too hot.
I know, man. It's getting a little nuts.
This is getting serious.
That's the plan. Brian also gonna do the.
So, but listen. But he said he's gonna do New York. I mean, Arnold. Then he said
this
New
is
York.
gonna happen. This is gonna happen.
Okay, so
this is gonna happen.
So when is Dubai?
July 28th. Is it?
That'll be a show for you too, Tony. Tony can do that show too. Pick up 100,000. Because who else? There's not a lot of people in that show. Andrew Jack might do it.
I think Andrew will do it. Sergio might.
De Cruz is doing it.
No.
Oh,
I don't think Sergio's doing it.
Oh, no, I thought he was out there.
No, he's not.
He's
actually here in
He's
town.
where Chris is at right now. Yeah, he lives in Marbella now. Yeah.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah, but he's.
Will we ever see Sergio back on stage?
Yeah, just not right now. Not right now.
Yeah.
Year, 2 years?
Not right now.
Is he still training with Dorian?
Not right now.
I think Beirut is doing it too, right?
Yeah, De Cruz is doing it. Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to read Chris's mind. That's what I'm trying to do.
You know, I don't want to say the wrong thing about sometimes. Some people be like, oh, he knows what you're talking about, or you don't know what he's talking about. I know what I'm talking about, and I know what I know.
You're not talking about nothing. That's why.
Exactly. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay, Tonio, I have to ask you this anyway. You were going to Brazil thinking you're going to win, and that was great. But okay, win or lose, there's $25,000 payday week later, and you had nothing better to do, I believe, that Sunday, right? How that didn't come up to you right away? Like, okay, it's
He did,
25,000.
Milos, he didn't know that there was a deadline, and he went there Tuesday to sign up, and it was too late.
Yeah, I got back into the States. You know, I got with family first, because I was gone for a month. And then got with family, talked with Justin, and he wanted to see where my weight was or how we looked.
You had to talk first to see if you're gonna do it.
No. So I got back into the States because I was gone for a month, and I just got back to be with my family for a little bit.
Okay, so here's my
And
thing.
then,
Tonio, here's my thing. You're a professional bodybuilder, okay? I'm saying this to you because I think you need to hear this from me. You're a fucking awesome professional bodybuilder at that. You just competed in Brazil. You flew all the way to fucking Brazil to stay there for I don't know how long, a month or something, to do this show. I would, as a professional bodybuilder, it should already be in your mind, if you win or not, that I gotta fly back Sunday so I can be ready by Sunday for the Detroit Pro. I don't get how that show was not in a lot of bodybuilders' mind. And you're not the only one. I mean, there's James Holly's head. There's all these people, all the guys that did the Arnold, basically. Mm-hmm. Why are they not jumping into that show? I mean, there's 25,000 for first, 10,000 for second.
Wait.
That was never on your mind to say, okay, like you're saying right now, I'm doing New York and I'm doing California.
No, it was though.
Hey.
Like, I brought it up to... I'm telling on my coach right now, bro. I brought it up to him a few times.
Oh, so your coach is deciding what shows you're gonna do.
So we talked about doing Detroit, but he didn't want to do it. We were focusing just strictly towards New York, and then Dragon Foreman was like, "Hey, we're gonna take you to Brazil. We're gonna pay for everything." So then I hit up Justin.
Let me jump in real quick. You, Dennis, Tonio, you're in the thick of things. You're a professional right now. Can you please tell all of us what the fuck is going on with people not doing shows?
For real.
Y'all talk about it. Y'all huddle up like nobody's gonna do the show. We're gonna boycott it. Like what is it? What's going on?
There got to be something that people didn't jump in that show so close. I mean, a week after. That's perfect scenario, back to back. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you could have focused on New York anyways.
Okay, and there's one more thing. If coaches didn't tell us what we were doing, we was telling coaches what we're doing when I was doing it. Right. I don't know how that role changed, but no one was deciding for me how much cardio I was doing. No one was deciding for me what shows I was going to do. I was doing them because that's what I was doing. And if they was going to be on the, and supporting me and helping me, and then they were doing that. But I was always in control of what shows I was doing, basically, outside of, Joe saying, hey, we need you to do the Arnold, we need you to do the Olympia. But besides that, no one was telling me, no coach ever told me what to do or what not to do as show-wise.
I'm trying to
how's that a thing?
I'm trying to figure out what the thought process was, like knowing.
No, but it's a competitive bodybuilder,
Yeah, no,
if you're talking strategy,
I know you.
Who's going to beat?
Chris, I'm not.
We're going to beat at this show. I want to get into the Olympia.
Yeah,
have a better chance at going straight from here. I'm going to hit out the next one.
Exactly.
It's close enough to reach.
Exactly.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to get my qualification.
Exactly.
And then I can improve a little bit more before the Olympia.
At the end of the day, you going for the qualification. The prize money is second. You need to qualify for the Olympia. So, when you strategize your plans, your shows, and you see there's a show a week after Brazil, and in 4 weeks or 5 weeks after that is New York. Okay, so why would you focus on New York where fucking heavy hitter is showing up?
Yeah.
The heaviest hitter probably you can think of is showing up to there, but then there's an open show with even better, the same prize money as the New York Pro. Mm-hmm. And you let that slide. I thought we understand now what you said.
Backyard.
We understand now. Are you really from New? Oh man, that's New York though.
No, he's from New Jersey.
Are you living?
And he's gonna.
Oh, Nick is from Jersey.
Nick, he's from there. He went back there, so he's all steam ahead for that show. That's gonna be a hell of a show to take away from this guy.
I also don't understand why Nick didn't do the Detroit.
I would
maybe
did all that
maybe
shit.
not big enough show for him, and maybe he and
Oh,
don't get.
I see what you're trying to say. Okay, all right. Let's not go
I
there
think we all
today.
picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. Oh,
That was the reason.
I apologize for the thought. I don't even know what's going on, but I apologize. No, yeah. But in the future, Tonio, you could have now focused on the New York Pro with a qualification in your pocket. That would be
Right.
so much easier because now you're given everything to qualify, and the chances are slim in New York. Now,
Yeah.
California, I already think you're winning it. But you never know. So all of a sudden somebody shows up out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying, and then things go bad. Then what you gonna do?
But listen, I think strategically, this is the time they cannot deny him comparison with Nick Walker.
Of course.
So it's beautiful, right? And so you're going there as a major underdog, right? You're going like a Bo Nickel kind of underdog, right?
Like plus 1,600.
Yeah, something. But but listen, so pose for pose, just as I told you, strategize. What do you want to show? It's not what you have, it's what you show. How you going to show it? And in between things, right? So, I think you're going to make a lot of people start respecting you even more. You are not small guy. And then when you say, okay, yeah, you lost in size, you create illusion. I think that little fuller chest could create crazy illusion because your back is big, your legs are big, your shoulders are big, right?
Yeah, man.
Only thing that I would tell you, focus on chest.
Here we go
you know.
again. Here we already know that.
Okay.
You already know that. No more.
I need to repeat myself, to make a point.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, now you know in the future, sign up for the shows early. Don't be afraid to make extra money. You could have $25,000 to spend on whatever after the New York Pro. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had a question for you right now. I forgot what it was. See, that's why I have a pen here, and I forgot to write it down.
Something about the show in Detroit? No?
No.
No?
Yeah, but you think that because Chris mentioned a little bit something. You saying Nick, what you think it has something to do with that? Is anybody is trying to avoid shows?
No.
No, I don't know. I know after Olympia they were already Ben Shaw was already promoting the Detroit, so we knew about it since then. I think the few times I brought it up to my coach, he had Justin Rodriguez doing it. So it was I thought it was
so because he has somebody else in the show, he didn't want you in the show.
That's what I was picking up, but then he said that had nothing to do with it. So because before I reached out to Tyler, I told him, I said, hey, how sure are you about Justin even winning the show? Because if he's not even close to winning it, I'm jumping in.
Oh, your coach thought that Justin is going to win the show?
Yeah, so I told him if he wasn't sure about him doing it or winning, then I'm jumping in. And then he was like, I don't know. It could be close. I was like, well, let's just do it. Let's pull the trigger.
Milos, what is going on with the coaches now? What's happening here?
Listen, you know me. I would force my guys to compete. I would constantly push them, go. I mean, I wouldn't pass the opportunity. Yeah, Patrick didn't allow John De La Rosa to compete. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You're already finished product. Tonio, you are very much improved from last year. So all this, it was going to pay dividends in every show that you entered this year. You already made those improvements. So is this expectable you can gain size from here to New York? Probably not. The only thing that you want to do is maintain that and maybe polish it, right? But like John De La Rosa too, like, how can you not do these shows? I don't get it. And then when you hear, coach suggested not to, I mean, coach should have no say. You, like Chris, you said you decide which you're going to compete, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
but the thing is, though,
it's taken over like the coaches with the bikini girls to tell the girls, I have 12 girls, they 3 doing that show, so you can't do that show. Are they doing this to the guys now too?
And
what
not only this,
fuck
but
is
Dennis,
going on?
Dennis, how about this? How about this? It don't matter if somebody could win the show or not, also, because you need the experience.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you need the experience.
Yeah. It's not
and,
only
and it's not a ratio. It's not a ratio thing of kills to to fucking lost, wins to losses.
Yeah.
It's not a ratio thing like that. You just fucking do the show. You don't really keep a record like, oh, I won this many, I lost this many.
Yeah.
You get the experience. You might look up and win it.
But I guess
You might wake up that morning as the winner.
Chris, I
So-
guess times changed. They changed. It's different now.
But it's like, don't worry about if you're gonna win or not. Or if someone's in it, like, shit.
But today,
Everybody was in
I
the
think
damn
you know
show.
what I think it really is. I think that it's really because back and back in the days, everybody basically turned themselves pro. Nobody needed nobody to turn pro. We all got to a certain level before we even talked to people. You know what I'm saying? So there's nobody telling us do this show or do that show. We just, we just.
Turn the lights on.
What about the cardio? Because like people are like, nobody don't need to tell you how much. You know how much cardio you need to be in shape for that show.
Yeah, no, I know cardio wise they give us how much time to do for cardio, but if I'm feeling good, I'm gonna go and do more than what he's saying.
What about if some cut is not in there? You're responsible for that cut, not the
So that's what I'm
coach.
saying. I always do more
I
than
need
what
all
he's
my
saying.
cuts,
Because
and I need to do this amount.
here's the thing: if you do the cardio that he's telling you, and then you are not as ripped as you're supposed to be, whose fault is it?
Right. Yeah, definitely.
At the end of the day, you always responsible for what you do because you're the one on stage. There's nobody standing next to you holding your hand. You get up there,
Right.
you got to battle. So, and even if I always say this: if you choose a coach, listen to the coach. You can't have a coach and he tell you to do something and then you're not doing it. Because then it's not coaching. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is you can't expect to get 100% out of something if you only put 50% in it. But you also know your body better than anybody. I don't think there's a coach on this planet that can tell you more about your body than you can tell yourself. I don't
Right.
care. I don't care what situation. You know what you look like when you wake up. You know what you look like when you wake up in the middle of the night to take a piss. Every time you go to the bathroom, you have a look in the mirror because you know. So there's only one person that knows your body better than you. I mean, next to you that knows your body.
And
better.
that's me.
And that's your girlfriend, wife, or whoever lives with you.
She actually called me right now.
Yeah, she knows you. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Tell her I say hi.
Lady.
So Chris, are you
Hey, I'm in the middle
so
of a
what's
podcast right
happening?
now. They said hi.
So what's
Oh
happening?
man, nothing. We're out here on vacation and we training and
I'll call you back. Come back, okay?
So why is everybody?
Like that.
Why I thought you went there for Dorian's birthday.
yeah, that's at the end of the week.
So why?
We're gonna train in the meantime.
So why is everybody there?
We all doing it. That's how we do.
What you all doing?
this is-
You all doing what?
We all here. We on vacation together. We training. We spend the time together, man.
Hey,
We got a 5-bedroom house here.
who is we all? You, Rubiel, and Brian.
Yeah, Breon. Yeah, it's
Oh,
Breon
okay.
right there.
Oh, look at hiding in the kitchen.
Hey, what's up, Breon?
Brian, always in the fucking kitchen.
Is Rubiel there?
He said Classic got him starving.
Hey, Chris, do me a favor.
Right.
Do you have a tape measure there?
Yeah,
No.
he travels with a tape measure.
You never know. Listen, ask Rubiel how big are his calves pumped.
He's upstairs.
No, because I got
He's upstairs.
somebody's trying. What do you
Can you
think?
ask him in Spanish?
What do you think? I thought you speak Spanish.
I think about 23,
Because I said,
I think like-
you remember when I said, somebody said,
24.
somebody said Rubio's calves are 20 fucking inches. I don't know what I'm talking about.
24 maybe, I think.
I know what I'm talking about when I see some fucking
I think about
calves.
24 inches.
Yeah. Yeah. So whoever that fool was that put that comment in the damn video, you don't know what the fuck you talking
I
about.
would say at least 24, man.
Yeah, that's
at
it.
least.
Let him guest post for us. Hey,
He ain't gonna-
come on, man.
I think he just took a shower. Oh, here he comes. Let me
Most
turn it.
round table classic.
Chris, ask him. Does Brian speak better Spanish than you?
Question.
Some words, because he did it in school. I did it from conversation.
Oh, okay.
You know, he had some little technical stuff. I got some stuff on him that he don't know. He got some stuff that I don't know. And both of us together is pretty good.
He's still saying, I got some stuff that he don't know.
I speak. Do I speak Spanish? I mean, I can speak. I'm not like fluent, but I can do some conversation. Yeah.
Well,
he does conversation.
Why
but
don't
he
you, hey,
actually went to school.
Chris, why don't you have a conversation with him right now so we can hear you talk to him?
Yeah.
You need
Shut
Google
your ass.
Translate.
You see what I got to deal with, Tonio?
Go.
You think you was in a buzzsaw today? I'm in a buzzsaw every time I come to work.
So Dubai is 100%.
Yeah,
100% in.
100%.
Ask him if he wants to guest post for me October 26th.
October
That's
26th.
3 months later, man.
No, isn't that the same time as the? Oh, that's
Olympia.
November.
The Olympia is
November.
2 weeks. The Olympia is 2 weeks prior.
Oh,
I just want you to ask him in Spanish.
Yeah, you trying to give him the talk.
October.
October.
October, the posing,
What he says.
the posinamar, Chris speaks as much Spanish as I speak Chinese. Not a goddamn word.
Woo.
What? That was French. That was French.
No, that was Mandarin. San Su Woo.
Well, you speak. Okay, then you speak more Chinese than fucking Spanish.
No, I don't.
But for real though. But for real though, I want to bring somebody to Frankfurt to guest post.
Yeah.
They like him in China.
China.
Dennis,
In Germany.
You have one
They
right,
like him in Germany.
right now.
Huh?
Make a deal. Tonio.
What's up?
Let's pose in Germany.
Oh wow, I ain't never been there.
But you know what?
Hey.
I might have a few gigs for you, my brother.
Yeah.
Qualify for the Olympia.
Yeah.
Get on the Olympia stage, and I might have a couple of gigs for you.
Got you.
For real.
Hey, man. So,
A couple
No,
of
listen.
yeah. Why bring him somewhere for one show? If you bring him somewhere in the
Tonio.
country,
Yeah.
Tonio,
Yeah.
so you do take my challenge serious. I challenge you to bring that physique what I'm expecting of you. I challenge you for that.
Oh yeah, no, I take everything you guys say. I remember it all.
I challenge you for that.
I got you.
And I won't let up until I see it.
he will trash
All right.
you. He will trash you until you deliver.
I'm not trashing her. I'm not trashing you. You know what's up. You know what's
No, I
up.
got you.
No, it comes from even the trash talk comes from a good place.
Oh, yeah,
Tonio,
New Orleans, man. They different over there. From the fifth ward over there.
question. Who would you have winning in Detroit?
Who did I have with you?
Oh,
Yeah.
he didn't even cover that yet.
I know. I asked you in the middle of it. You say you brushed me off.
You asked who? Yeah, you cut
You,
me off.
okay,
That's
okay.
why. Because
I
you
was
cut
thinking,
me.
Oh,
you
y'all
cut
cut
me
me
off.
off.
You cut me off. Okay.
Okay, so talk about Detroit. What do you think, Tonio?
I think some pictures I saw, it looked like Vito came way better than what he was.
Way better, yeah.
So I thought he was gonna walk away with it. But then I seen pictures where it looked like Martin got better. So then it was kind of like I knew it was between those two, and honestly, it was one of those ones that could have went either way. I don't think you can have been mad necessarily about who they chose. I think Vito's back poses needs help.
Yeah.
And that's where Martin walked away with it.
It was,
You want to hear what I got to say about it?
Oh, who cares? Of course, we want to hear what you
You
have
see
to
how
say.
you see how they do? See, this guy has a lot of real estate on his body, Vito, and it's not developed yet. Like I think Chris Aceto did a great job with his body. I think he was still learning his body. I think it's probably a little bit flattish at the show in Brazil, but he filled into that body, that look, which is easy to do. It's not that hard to do, but they nailed the condition. What's failing him is his posing and his training I don't know if it's philosophy or guidance or whatever it is, because the actual muscles are not developing yet. It's not developed yet. Those teres majors, minors, and all those different little muscles there, and the lats kind of high. The lat spread is kind of like lacking, and it's not impressive at all from that front lat spread. Makes him go like super high lats. He's probably gonna have to adjust his hands on that lat spread to even make that look comparable to the other bodybuilders. Feet stance to me is just too wide. I don't know. Maybe he could do something more with that, but I think he's comfortable in that stance like that. So his posing, the lat spread, like I said, he's got the real estate, got the width, but he's gonna have to take the time to fill that shit out. Maybe his connection is not great in his back because it's behind you. He's promising because that ab and thigh is great. The cuts in the thigh is great. He's just gonna, the back lat spread look good. It's just thin as hell. It's just almost like, it's just thin muscle, but on a wide frame, and it just needs to fill in all the muscle. But when it does fill in, it can be a lot of trouble for a lot of people.
Okay, so did he win? Did he deserve second?
He didn't. He did. He could have won it. He looked good enough to win it in the prejudging.
Why didn't he?
I thought he was going to win it. I thought he was going to win it first off, and then I think it slid down to like it looked like Martin came a little bit better at the night show than he did. Then he kind of faded.
Poses too.
Yeah. Martin.
Go ahead.
He could have been.
Go ahead, because
he could have been a little better too. His back to a bicep was better than his. His lat spread, the actual development is better. But I thought Martin had more lines and deep lines 2 years ago when he competed, as opposed to this one, a little bit bigger. But he lacked the actual definition of.
Are you talking about the one in Texas?
Yeah, I thought he looked better there.
Maybe he had more detail because he was not as big.
And that front double, I don't know what's going on with those arms, because the arms is lacking. But I just thought he looked better at that show, but he was just bigger, but a little bit better in my taste for the definition factor and that separation factor.
Okay, so if I would have to say what I think, it's not going to take this long because I think I thought
I had to say why.
Yeah, but you just point out everything that's not good. Sometimes you got to say something nice about people too. He's always negative. Hold on. My turn.
Dennis, real quick.
Kylie.
No, listen,
mute button, please.
Before you mute me, Kylie, I was going to say they're already the best in the world. Is why we even talking about them. Right. So let's get that out of the way.
Okay.
Now let's see what's going to separate them.
Okay, yeah. I think, just like Chris, I thought in the beginning that Vito, because Vito was so much improved. Vito, he was so much improved from even the color. Even his color was right and everything. Because in Brazil, his color was awful.
The tanning is different.
It looked terrible.
He don't want to talk.
But and with Martin, at prejudging, I had Vito winning, but at the finals, I see pictures. Martin was full. He looked like he was rounder. He was more 3D. Let's put it this way. Mm-hmm. Condition was pretty similar. I thought that Vito was a little better conditioned in certain areas, but I think it was pretty much the same condition-wise. And I think what was the scores like though? Did he win with perfect scores or was it close?
It's 1 point of the prejudging and straight.
Okay, so it was what the changes that he made. Okay, yeah, it was close.
Yeah.
Who got
third?
third?
Do you speak Spanish, Dennis?
Who, me? No. Why would I say I speak
Not
Spanish?
At all?
I understand a little bit, but I
how
don't.
big his calves are.
How
Se cuenta.
Don't show your calves, because your calves are about 17. He's got to show his calf.
He said no fake though. He said they're not fake. They real like a motherfucker.
I know they are. Listen, but what is he saying? Rubiel, ¿cómo está?
He said,
Rubiel, how big are your calves?
How big?
Your calves.
And
Let me see.
55 and 55.
55 cm.
5.
55
55 centimeters. Hold on. This is 55.
52. This
55 centimeters.
Wait, let me get some light. Turn around to the light.
the neck. 52.
He said his neck is what?
No, but so the calves are 50. How much are the calves pumped? What would he say pumped?
His neck is 52.
And 55.
65.
pumps.
Same.
57.
57 pumped.
Okay, so his is 22.4 inches.
Oh.
Them some big. God, look at him. Look at him. His calves is more impressive when he turns around from the back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But Tonio, I'm
All right,
telling you,
brother.
I'm telling you, it looks crazy when you see him, but in real life, it's even crazier.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I want to see him in person.
Yeah. He has some crazy body parts. Where is he going? He's the only one that can communicate in Marbella. He the only one who speaks Spanish. Chris's wingman. Listen,
Dennis,
guys,
you're a ball buster, man.
I'm so crazy, I know. Hey, Chris, next week it's your turn again. You can go. I'll let you guys hit on me next week. All right. So, Tonio, listen, thanks for making the time, man. We appreciate it. Listen, go to New York, fucking kill it. Go to California, kill it there. Get your qualification. Wherever you get it, because you deserve it. We need you on the Olympia stage. This will be your third time.
Yeah.
Be your third
Yeah,
Olympia.
third. Yeah.
You know, there's not a lot of people that can say they've been to the Olympia 3 times. So, just know that. Okay.
Appreciate you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And with the
Do your
improvements that
thing,
you
Tonio, man. You know I'm rooting for you, brother. And don't mind Dennis, man. We want the best for you, man. And I really believe you're gonna get there, man.
yeah.
Nah, I hear you. That's why I was excited to jump on with you guys.
Yeah. And,
All right,
listen,
you guys.
we might bring you back after New York to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Okay?
All right, brother.
Take care, guys. Milos, be safe. Chris, go have
I'll see you.
a tequila on me tonight.
You like Tonio?
Because I know you're drinking. Are you going out?
Who?
You going out?
We want to walk down there by the boats and stuff. They got some yachts right there.
If you go eat,
Right, walk down
I'll be in Spain in July. But if you go eat,
July?
do you know how before you bring your food, they give you that white bread, that French white bread with the aioli, that garlic, that garlic mayonnaise? Man, that shit is fucking good. That shit is so good, man. Have some on
Been
me.
doing that.
All right, take care, guys. Be safe.
All right, see you guys.
Peace out.
Later.